This is a new view I've added. In the future, we're going to try this 3 view, just because I want to see the front of the stroke. I want to see the extension phase and get a clear view of how the kids are extending into their strokes on these things and kind of see their hand entry position. So we're going to do this once at full speed, and then we're going to look at it very nice. All right, so everything looks really, really good. Again, all the stuff I was saying looks great from this angle, and there's no surprises here. One thing I want to talk about, and this is what I kind of wanted this angle for. So you were doing a real good job. Again, your sweep phase and your pull phase are perfect. So one thing, I don't like the hands getting this close at the top of the stroke. So I think what I like to tell kids is, and you've heard it from me as well, don't reach to where your hands are touching. Don't sweep and reach to where your hands are together. I like to keep the water I'm passing through on butterfly clean. Okay, so what I want you to do is land your hands a little bit wider. I want them to land in a more natural position, so just along the shoulder line. So your left hand should be there, right hand should be there. Should have a little bit of separation just so that water our head is about to pass through is nice and clean and not all disturbed from your hands pushing through it. Okay, but I really like I like the head position your hands are getting in. I just don't bring them so close together, because that really doesn't help your pull too much. And what you're adding is a little bit extra sweep, and you're disturbing the water the head's about to move through. And as we all know, water that is stirred up is harder to move through. So you're creating more drag by pushing the water out of the way and stirring it up. So I just, I think if you were to land here, land in this position right here. That's the angle I want your hands to hit the water. You don't have to overreach on that butterfly. That's as far as you need to go. So you can go right into that sweep. And that might actually help you keep from diving so deep. So that's one little thing. Second thing, when I talk about the pull, and this is advanced stuff, and you're ready for advanced stuff. So when you sweep, you have the sweep phase like you're doing. Then you have that push phase. So you sweep, get the hands under you, and then push. Here's your sweep, and then there's your push. 2 distinct phases. The sweep gets the head up. The push drives the head forward. Okay? Very good. So on your sweep phase, if you watch really high-level butterflyers, they're going to go from 2 paddles to 1 paddle. And what I mean is, on the sweep phase, they're going to go from having their hands, each hand has its own paddle, imagine. You're going to go from those 2 hands, you're going to sweep them in, and I want you to get them under your chest just like this, right here. But instead of being 1 paddle there and 1 paddle there, like that, instead of having the 2 paddles, I want you to sweep them in together to where they're not quite touching, but mostly touching. And then get them to be 1 big paddle right at the top of your stomach, 1 giant paddle. And then you're going to push that giant paddle straight back and push yourself over it. So that's really kind of the secret. You'll see a lot of the really top butterflies in the world, they use that technique. The 2 paddles to sweep, the 1 paddle to drive the stroke. And right now, as you can see, pretty typical of most butterfliers, you're keeping 2 paddles and then pushing back as 2 paddles. But that's part of what we can do to get those hands closer to the body. Just bring those hands in here and get them underneath you and get them almost touching. That thumb and that index finger, the pointing finger on each hand need to be almost touching, almost like you're making a little diamond with your hands. And if you can get in that position, get in that giant paddle position and push back, you'll have way more power on that pull. And you've already got a good pull, but you'll have way more power on it. So that's really the only thing that I wanted to touch on with this underwater video. So a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing is really good. You're just over recovering. You're kind of reaching into that A-frame. You're reaching out in front of the head too much. and adding a little extra too much to that recovery, getting the hands too close. And then the second thing is just we're keeping the hands separate. We're swimming with 2 paddles, and we're not getting to that 1 paddle phase of the stroke. So really nice job. Your butterfly's looking great. Always have stuff we can work on, but the stuff that we are working on, you are doing as good as anyone in the group. So very nice job. I'll see you at practice tonight.